Hey guys, Logan here, and I am here today to give you guys my review for Maze Runner: The Death Cure, a movie I went to see yesterday in theaters. So, let's get on with the review, shall we? Our young hero of the day, named Thomas, played by Dylan O'Brien, embarks on a nearly impossible and possibly suicidal mission to find a cure for a deadly disease known as the flare. And while he's on a search for the flare and try to cure the disease, use the disease to cure it, he's trying to find one of his friends, as well as his former friend, Teresa, and a lot of other stuff happen. So that's pretty much the story for this movie. Now, before I get into what I thought about this movie, let me give you guys my thoughts on the first two Maze Runner films. The first one was okay. It was an enjoyable film to watch with plenty of action sequences to enjoy watching. Dylan O'Brien was okay in that one, as well as in the second one, The Scourge Trials, which I think was a little bit worse than the first one. Even though I would say both of them are kind of interchangeable, but some parts made The Scourge Trials more worse than the first one, so both of them are kind of okay for me. And that pretty much goes the same with this film. Yes, I'm here to say that Maze Runner: The Death Cure is on par with the first two Maze Runner films, especially the first one, because this is better than the second one. Dylan O'Brien gave out his best performance in this entire trilogy, and not just in this film. He did everything he could to try to be the best part of this entire film, which he is, but also the action sequences. The action sequences, in my opinion, were what made this movie more watchable than it could have been. Because, you know, most of the action sequences in this film really were entertaining enough to where I can actually legitimately watch this film, if I wanted to. Just to, sit down and lay on my couch and just watch the movie as it is playing. That's what this movie feels. This is one of those types of movies. The story I thought was just okay. It just didn't really captivate me. And that's one of the biggest problems I have with this film, as well as the first two. There were some story plot elements, I guess you could call them that kind of made the movie look predictable. I've seen some parts of this movie coming, and they happen just the way that I thought they would. I'm not going to reveal too many plot details about this movie. It's just that there were some story plot elements that came up as predictable to me. And also, another issue I have with this film, there were certain scenes throughout the entire film from start to finish that didn't really add up to the story for this movie, the main story rather, and they just kind of dragged the movie for me, to be honest. I just think some of those scenes could have been cut out of the movie. They really could have been... This movie could have easily been less than 2 hours long, and this movie is about 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and I feel like it could have been shorter than that, or at least the runtime or the full length of this movie. And like I said earlier, this movie is pretty much on par with the first two Maze Runner films, the first one mostly. However, I will say this: is it better than some of the book to film adaptations that we've got that were just utterly terrible? You betcha. This one is leaps and bounds better than some of the forgettable, mediocre, garbage book to film adaptations that we've got in recent years. The ending kind of felt a little bit anticlimactic, I would say, because the way it ended kind of felt lame. I mean, I was expecting something like an epic ending to something like that, and it didn't happen the way that I thought it would, so it was kind of disappointing to me. So besides the flaws that I have for this movie, some various scenes that could have been cut out of the movie, a couple of characters that I didn't think need to be in the film all that much, I think that this movie overall was a slightly above average film to watch, just slightly, because of the action sequences as well as Dylan O'Brien's best performance in this entire trilogy. Do I recommend you go see it? If you are a fan of the first two Maze Runner films, you will probably love this one as well. Or if you like the Maze Runner novels, you might like this one too, even though you'll get some parts that were either not in the film or were in the film that you didn't think should be in the film. So anyway, this film overall was just okay for me. I'm going to give Maze Runner: The Death Cure a Silver Medal of Honor. So anyway guys, that is my review for Maze Runner: The Death Cure. If you guys enjoyed my review for Maze Runner: The Death Cure, please click the like button and comment down below to let me know what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you thought it was okay? Or did you not like it? And if you enjoy what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight. Peace!